lateral cerebral sulcus or fissure, whichever one you want to call it. And then, well, looky there, that's kind of nice. Parietal occipital sulcus. ESUS. We just did the falx cerebri, right? Okay, so if we're still looking at our simple brain, so what does the next one say? Cingulate gyrus. So all I do really, and I'll just go through them. I'll try not to jump around, but that's the cingulate gyrus, because the gyrus is just a fold of brain tissue in the cerebellum, or cerebrum, excuse me. That's the corpus callosum, right? And this is septum pellucidum. Septum pellucidum is, it's clear. It's actually just a transparent membrane in life. It's just separating the two lateral ventricles. So anyway, that's where it is right there. And then it's really the structure, the septum pellucidum is in between the corpus callosum and this little mini arch called the fornix. Because that's what arch, fornix means arch. What's the next structure? Where do we go? Oh, anterior commissure. Remember the commissural fibers? Like corpus callosum is one of them. So if you just go, if you see a kind of a thickening white spot, that's the anterior commissure. Posterior commissure is here, it's impossible to find on the models, so it's not on our list. Okay, so that's all that is. And I'll just keep going. Okay, so we've got all those other structures. If I show you this, the diencephalon is in here somewhere. It's just below the fornix. I'm gonna show you something that'll tip you off, and I'll use it in the nicer, kind of more detailed brains. But there's that little spot right there. There's two names for that spot. One is called the intermediate mass, or in your book it's called the interthalamic adhesion. It really represents the union point. You know how the thalamus looks like a big alien head? And they merge together, and it's the connector for the two hemispheres of the thalamus. That's what it really is. So that's what you see when you see that little like mustard colored thing, you know that everywhere around it is the thalamus, right? So thalamus is really big. And then right on this blue thing, what do you think this is? It's a vascular structure. It's found in every ventricle in the brain. Choroid plexus. And in this instance, it's the choroid plexus of the third ventricle. The third ventricle is right around where the thalamus is. So I'll show you, it's really easy to find which ventricle you're in. Anyway, that's the choroid plexus of the third ventricle. I only say that because it happens to be here on this. Can you see that it's not on this one? It's only ever on one side of the brain. So I found the intermediate mass, or the interthalamic adhesion. I know all around it is the thalamus. And then if I go below it, like that, that's the hypothalamus, right? If I go above it, there's this pink thing. It's called the epithalamus. And at the very back end of the epithalamus is usually this little pink thing, and that's the pineal gland. And it's sitting right on top of the four bodies, the corporal quadrigemina, right? In the midbrain. There's the midbrain right there. So you kind of see those things, okay. And then usually the pituitary gland is always broken off. Let's just see if we can find one. No, broken. I'll find one. Was that one?